Peace and power, family. I hope, you know what I'm saying, your day is beautiful. I hope you're feeling good energy. I hope you feel like you're getting in order. You know what I mean? Don't get too head heavy. Just allow yourself just to get reoriented, man. The more you just let it flow, the more you're going to just start, you know, choosing up, man, because you have to. You know what I'm saying? Order over chaos. I want to follow up right quick with, you know, some of the drop I did with the Moorish treaty, as well as some of the Egyptian drop that we just did with the sinking in Egypt. Just a couple like real quick videos, like 1 minute, 3 minute joints. And then I got to follow up with some good vibration from that Queen Smiles, man. So let's get to it. This is a real quick drop. Real quick drop. But I love to y'all, man. Peace to y'all. Hope your day is beautiful. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm just in love with, you know, growing every day. You know what I'm saying? You know, taking the L's I got to take. I've taken a lot of L's, man. But that resilience, man, from getting up every time, you know, when your enemy looks across the ring at you, and it's the 12th round, and they've done everything to knock you out. They've abandoned you, betrayed you, left you for dead, left you in the lion's den, you know, and you, you know, got back up every time, man. By the 12th round, they got to be looking at you like, how you still standing? How you doing it? And all you can do is say, hey, hey, hey. All that is, baby. I am that I am. That's all I am. That's all I can be. You know, man. So cheers to you. Cheers to me. I'm King Drop. If this is your first video, I'm not crazy. I promise you. Relatively speaking, you know what I'm saying? So that's my disclaimer. Let's get to it. So this is a video from good brother, great brother, man, the Moorish American 720. This brother got nothing but drop, you know what I'm saying? And again, I'm building with my brother, so we're trying to put together a thesis, you know what I'm saying? So I hope everyone can relax and just surf that wave with me. And I appreciate everyone for the patience as I continue to grow with you. So let's get it, man. Enough of the mushy stuff. Let's get it. Excuse me for a second as I situate. Get it. All right, we good. Let me get my full screen on, you know what I'm saying, for your viewing pleasure. Oh, that ain't it. Here we go. All right, let's do it, man. This is quick. I think this is a 1 minute joint. And they're just describing what is the Moorish shield. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the brother's just, you know, dropping a drop. And I just want to continue to grow off of that, you know what I'm saying, and apply it to the last video if you haven't checked it out with the whole treaty, you know, Moorish treaty. What was it called? You know what it was called. But it should be right before this video. So check those out first. There's a part 1 and a part 2. I'm dropping the treaty with Zelia SL, and of course the Corporation of the United States. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we're just dropping that drop. Everybody got their own opinions. You know, is it cool to do a treaty? Is it cool? You know what I'm saying? I'm from the school of thought, just because my father raised me this way, is that you just don't do deals with the devil. What's yours is yours. You ride, you die. You stick together. It is what it is. It's real simple. You know, obviously, treaties got to be done sometimes, you know, for some form of salvation. But where we come from, man, you know, it's just that we only see one form as adequate. You know what I'm saying? One form of salvation as adequate. And that's being saved from the invasion itself, not just letting us get a little piece of ours back while our brothers are enslaved. But we got our tribe, we got our piece, we got our chunk. Brother just dropped a comment, you know, he said, you know, if you can't identify, you know, you can identify as a Moor, but you can't identify as Judah. You can't prove you're Judah. And I'm like, that's the fucking point. Why do you gotta prove anything to anybody? They know this is your land. They know who the Negroes are. You hear the Alabama governor saying, oh, these are my aboriginals. Oh, yeah, these are your Indians. You know, talking slick. And then coming out apologizing for calling the black people of Alabama aboriginals. Well, they are aboriginals. So if you want to identify as more, you want to identify as what you want to identify with, but what do you got to prove to anybody? I'm not saying go fight the UN. I'm not saying go try to get recognized by Massa. Massa, please, can you please identify me as Judah? Here's my paperwork to prove I'm Judah. You came and slaughtered 300 million of my family. Here's a piece of paper to prove I'm Judah. Come on. Ain't nobody thinking like that. I ain't picking on you. That's why I'm not saying your name. But love to you. I just want to get out of that mentality. We got to walk out the cities. Do it on your own. Do it together. Find a group. Get together. Do the research and go. No one has to lead you anywhere. You know where to go. You do your research. And if you're upset with somebody else's research, don't come over here hating on our good time, hating on our community, hating on our unity. This is a classroom, and we are connecting the dots. We are enjoying the process of mathematical thought and being truly conscious above the vibrational layer that has kept us into a slave vibration with pyramids and artificial harmonics and artificial acoustics on a natural earth. We are natural beings. We don't need unnatural acoustics. Either you're natural or you're not. You know what I mean? So we about to get to this, man. This is, again, Moorish American 720. Go check them out. Subscribe to the King. And again, these kings got so much drop on so much, you know what I'm saying, nationalization and legal information and all kind of things. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not talking about making no deals, man. And I'm not talking about fighting. I'm just saying, if your ancestors migrated through the four corners, if those people were called Aztecs, and you can prove that they are dark and copper colored, just like the indigenous people here, and you can prove in their cliches that they were coming home, and you can prove in their cliches their customs and their tribes of Jacob, and them calling themselves the sons of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all kinds of outside biblical sources to prove that these Aztecs and Mayans had these customs. And then you see the artifacts, the Decalogue and Back Creek Stone and the Los Lunas, New Mexico joint, you know what I'm saying, going back over 1000 BC and before that. Then you see all that matching that migration. So you got the artifacts in stone, you got the people, you got their cliches, and that's not even that's without touching King James anything. Then you say, I was already here. Then you go to Columbus. Then you go to the Biblioteca de Colombina in Sevilla. You pull out those Vatican records, and you see that in their writings, and in the Book of Prophecies and Book of Privileges, Columbus is saying, I went to America to recapture Jerusalem and the holy city of Mount Zion. Click on the link underneath. You will find it. So now you got Columbus saying, I'm coming here to seize the holy city. Who's fighting for the holy city? Who's fighting for the holy city? Is it the Moors? Is that in their records? Did they say we're fighting for Jerusalem? We're going to die for the laws and statutes and commandments of the Creator? Or was that some mystery group called Negro that were Israel? And you're the last to wake up. That's your curse. So stand up. Shake it off. Shake off the illusion. Shake off your feeling of being divided. You can't move without each other. Don't you see it? You can't move without each other. It's your gift and your curse, but when you're together, you're unstoppable. So what does it take to drop the ideologies? What does it take to love your brothers and sisters? What does it take to honor your father, your mother? To not cover your neighbor's wife? And one day out of your 7-day week, fall back and meditate above the firmament and reconnect to, hey, I am. I exist. I will become. Man, I love those sirens because it's what's really going on. Red alert, man. So check out the Moorish American 720, and we're gonna check out. It's gonna be this white chick. You know, she's gonna try to break down what's a Moorish shield, and it's pretty much gonna fall into line with the treaty that we just dropped. I'll drop it again underneath the link so you can read it yourself, or go back and click on the link that's breaking down that particular Moorish treaty. The transfer, I believe it's called the transfer of inheritance. So click on that joint. All right, check it out.
As a former attorney, one of the things I've come to realize is there are Moorish American city officials, Moorish American law enforcement officers, Moorish Americans who fight and serve this country. So we have to understand the majority of Moorish Americans are law-abiding United States of America citizens.
Now, to put it in perspective, I'm going to repeat what she says, but I'm going to say Israelite, and I'm going to see how you feel about her saying it. Because as an Israelite, as a seed of David, as a seed of Yahweh, you should feel a certain way about someone else petting you, having to pet you, and say, they're such good people, we work together, they're the nice ones, they're law-abiding citizens, look at our relationship with them. Then you can understand the treaty that we just dropped, and how one works with the other, and how one is married into this kingdom and doesn't really even want to see this kingdom fall like that. I mean, perhaps, but, you know, hey, I guess it's like, while it's here, let's make the most out of it type of thing. But is that revolution? Are these treaties revolution? Have these treaties led to revolution? Have these treaties been revolutionary? Or did Nat Turner literally read some scriptures and say, what? I'm Israel, I need to be free. I'm enslaved, I just need to be free. Treaty? On your land? Is that real talk? Let go.
With the protection under the Constitution to practice religion as they see fit. In 2010, President Obama signed on to the right.
Let me just get it from the top.
Many Moorish Americans are indigenous to America.
Because this is only 1 minute, so that was pretty much the whole thing. So we're getting it from the top. I'll shut up. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up.
As a former attorney, one of the things I've come to realize is there are Moorish American city officials, Moorish American law enforcement officers, Moorish Americans who fight and serve this country. So we have to understand the majority of Moorish Americans are law-abiding United States of America citizens, with the protection under the Constitution to practice religion as they see fit. In 2010, President Obama signed on to the rights of indigenous people. Many Moorish Americans are indigenous to America. So what Moorish Shield does is it helps to notify law enforcement magistrates and judges about Moorish Americans. Going into 2015 to 2016, we will continue to work with government and city officials, as well as the Secretary of State office, to assure that all Moorish Americans' rights are protected.
Well, what do you think? Be honest. Don't you hold back nothing. Let's watch it again. It's so short, we could just keep watching this. Because you might feel different every time. First, you might have been like, damn, man, that's hella tight. They got a shield. They got their own. Man, I need to be a Moor then, right? Because then I'm protected under this Zodiac Constitution. You heard what you said. They got their own Constitution. I mean, law-abiding citizens. But what about everybody else that doesn't identify with that, nor has never identified with that in their tribal history? Have the sons and daughters of Jacob identified as Moors? Did they walk around calling themselves Moors, signing treaties with corporations? Or was it get down and lay down? Is there really anything in between of freedom and not being free? Slavery and freedom. The treaties, I guess, are in between that, right? I just want you to search your heart, man, and let me know if that's real spill. Does that make sense as a solution today? And if you were back then and you signed a treaty and you cool, your people cool, but your brothers and sisters ain't cool. How are you cool? I put it like this. Real simple. If you my brother, I don't care what you call yourself. I see you going down with you. Or I'm a piece of shit, and I ain't shit. You see me going down, you don't go down with me, you ain't shit. I'm going to yell at you as I'm going down. You ain't shit. You feel me? So that's just a microcosm. Let's kind of expand it. So as a group, you sign a treaty, but your brothers, your melanated brothers and sisters, have it bad or even worse now because of the treaty. You're not fighting with them because you got your separate thing. So now what happens to the rest of us? I'll wait. Do you come back for us too? With your magic treaty? With your magic wand? Or does the suffering increase now because we're not united as melanated people? Don't we cease to be united as melanated people when we have this person breaking down the Moorish shield? Patting someone on the back saying how nice they are? How much this makes sense? How man, under this, you're protected under the Constitution, right? That was the treaty with the corporation. With Zelia SL. Okay, so I'm going to watch it this time, and I'm just going to stop and say Israelite so we see how we feel about that.
As a former attorney, one of the things I have come to realize is there are Moorish American city officials, Moorish American law enforcement officers, Moorish Americans who fight and serve this country.
As a city official, as an attorney, man, I come to find out that they are Israelite city official, Israelite attorney people, and Israelites all over the place, man, that serve this country and everything. All right.
So we have to understand the majority of Moorish Americans are law-abiding United States.
So most of these niggas is cool. You know what I mean? Like, some ain't cool. Some of them are just wild-ass niggers. But most of these niggas is cool. All right. Let go.
America's citizens, with the protection under the Constitution to practice religion as they see fit.
They're protected under our new second world constitution to do some of their shit. We're protecting it even though we're foreigners here. Even though we invaded and took all of your things and raped, plundered, and put diseases on y'all. We'll protect you as friends, pat you on the back. You'll be good little boys with these treaties. It'll be all good. But I'm taking all your shit. But I'm going to give you some back in the form of a treaty. And y'all can have salvation for a time.
In 2010, President Obama signed on to the rights of indigenous people. Many Moorish Americans are indigenous to America.
Many are. But many aren't. Do you hear this? So the president of the corporation, he backed this corporate treaty up because it was backed up all the way from 1430 and all the way into 17, whatever, in the Treaty of Tripoli. So the president of the corporation, all right, who's sitting here on the seat, on the corporation, on your land, he backed it up, president. I mean, that's a good thing, right? The president of the corporation that has invaded you and taken everything and killed everybody. We now have to get their point of view, their education, and sign deals with them and let them represent us on more TV. To break down the Moorish shield of protection and how this lady is going to protect you. Her law, her Admiralty Sea law, is now your protector. Until revolution time, right? But when's that going to be? Because you got your treaty. I mean, you cease to really have the gumption for freedom when you're doing in between deals, getting by, getting the most out of things while you can. See, revolution is 100. And if you're backdooring treaties with UCCs and all this other stuff, you're not 100 and you know it. Now, I'm not saying this to all my Moorish brothers, because I know a lot of Moorish brothers, for real, that are 100. But what I'm saying is these treaties and what she's representing and how this is being represented in front of your face, don't even front. Don't even front. Don't even front. It's trill spill, or, you know what I'm saying? Get with it. You already know.
So what Moorish Shield does is it helps to notify law enforcement magistrates and judges about Moorish Americans.
What? What Moorish Shield does is it helps to notify law judges and magistrates about Moorish Americans. That's the purpose of Moorish Shield? To notify the magistrates of the Admiralty Court system, the European system, that has created a second world environment and destroyed your first world environment. But remember, she said many are indigenous here. Also, revealing that many are not. So when we have Morocco, that's not here, right? If that's Morocco. So is your kingdom on the Western Hemisphere or the Eastern Hemisphere? What's your divine order? Where did the Creator give as an inheritance to you and your people? I don't know anyone who he gave both hemispheres, right? Oh, you got your own thing, your own way. Well, that's the problem. And that's our problem today. Our own way ain't gonna get it done. Our old ways are. We've tried every way but our old way. And even when we tried our old way, we still brought their idols in. We called them names that sounded cool. And we put up a hijack in between us and our direct energy flow of hey. He exists. If your energy is real, man, what's the limitation? Are you real? Are you realer than hair? When I say hair, your mind is thinking religion. You don't feel vibration?
Going into 2015 to 2016, we will continue to work with government and city officials, as well as the Secretary of State office, to assure that all Moorish Americans' rights are protected.
Oh, man. So that they're the protectors. So the Moorish Shield is the European protecting these indigenous melanated people who are apparently indigenous here and there, according to her. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't get our heads together real quick, if we don't get order together real quick, if we don't start respecting each other and our land and our territory and stop acting like everything is yours, because you identify with a title, everything's yours. But what about the Creator? What about the 12 tribes? That's a myth. But in this transfer of inheritance that you can click on, it says Zelia SL. Underneath it says Moabite. Moabite? Well, surely the Moabites were attached to the hips of Israel. You find Moab always connected to the hip wherever you find Israel, right? Oh, but this is their heritage, their treaty, their land. Do you see the Confederacy against you? You are the last melanated family to wake up. Everyone has claimed theirs. Everyone is taking yours. And you're the last ones waking up like, man, show is empty around here. Everything's gone and taken. And the Most High says, I'm going to remind you that you're rich. Now you tell me why they haven't found Montezuma's gold in Utah. So check him out. And again, everything 100 is love. You know what I mean? I'm not with this chick representing my brothers and sisters, and I don't think they would be too. I don't think she should be representing the Moorish shield, breaking it down as a shield that is her protection of the magistrates and how all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Look, hold up, man. I'm about to get the chucking. Chucking this thing, man. All right, man. Feel me, family. There ain't 2 ways about it. There ain't 3 ways about it. There ain't 4 ways about it. There ain't 5 ways about it. How do you get free? Does a treaty free you, or does it kind of like stall you for a minute, kind of let you keep a little peace? But then, you know, the same thing, the treaties, we got, you know, they got family on reservations. They got their treaties, right? But what's happening to them right now? Everybody that signed treaties with these people have suffered. Some of them are suffering because of the treaties. We have to start getting off this romanticizing that our family was like, oh, on point, man. If they were on point, you wouldn't be in this situation. This is a growth process. So we can't go back and say, oh, well, you know what I'm saying, my grandfather this, or my clan mother's this, or this chief this, you know what I'm saying? Okay, you know, I got it. You know family that's a chief, or you know family that's connected to, but were they connected back to Torah? And if they weren't connected to Torah, was that because they were of another group of people? See, when you research like we're researching, you're going to find, man, this order is ancient. It's not about the Bible. It's not about the Old Testament. It's not about what you call or what we call Torah. This order, this priesthood, this energy that we're talking about is ancient, man. The Most High's energy, this priesthood we're a part of. Everybody got their order and their priesthood, right? You're a part of a very special priesthood. It's a vibration that cannot be tarnished. The Most High always protects his name. He says, look, man, y'all so messed up. But for my name's sake, the fact that my name says I exist, and I'm going to let you and them know I exist. I'll let you know by destroying you. I'll let you know by building you back up. So it's love to my brothers, love to my system. You know, it's whack when it's whack. It's whack when it's whack. Just think about this. I go out somewhere with 7 people. You go out somewhere with 7 people. Those are our crews, right? I got my crew, you got your crew. We're in the wilderness. We say, all right, cool. We have an alliance, right? We're together. The shit hits the fan, your ass signs a treaty. You end up being straight, and I get slaughtered. Can I trust you? Would I be a fool to go back in the wilderness with you again and say we are brothers? And this is what happened with these treaties. And we got to be real. If you try to protect this, you're going to go down with it. This corporation's falling. You married to it, you're going to go down with it. Anybody making a deal with the devil, anybody making a deal with Babylon, is going to go down with it. That's order. And even their chief knows that. Their chief is taking pride in this destruction. I mean, that's his greatest thing, right? He's enjoying this because these people, you know, really got confused, man. They really thought that it was about chaos. And all there was ever was order. So, I love y'all. Hopefully, everybody's on point, man. Hopefully, everybody's on point. I don't want to get too excited. This is cool. This is some technology drop, some tech drop. This is from Dabu 7. Another king put me up on this too. So love to whoever gave me the drop on this. You know, I'm bad, remember. Forgive me. Blame my mind, not my heart. My corazon. Don't break me down. Don't make me cry. Alright, man. This is a King Tut's dagger made of gold and iron. They say from a meteorite. Whenever they say meteorites, they don't know. It's just a metal that they don't know. They don't actually have the meteorite that it was made from to compare it and say, see, it's this meteorite. They're just saying it seems to be meteorite. And what's meteorites? Are they not rocks falling down? Now that you know that there's no real outer space, right? These are just luminaries. There's waters above, there's a firmament. We're going to drop some great stuff about how the lights are reflecting off of the waters above, or the crystallized vibration above, which you can call the firmament, which they've never been able to penetrate. They tried to shoot through it with nukes and bombs. They tried to bomb this thing. But once in a while, you know, it seems like metal falls from something above, which, you know, unless it's some spaceship, you know, it's like the firmament. You know, seems to be some metal above that sometimes falls down, like literally chunks of firmament dropping. You know what I'm saying? But this is real interesting. Check it out. And we dropped on Egypt and Thoth and Atlantis, fallen angel technology. And here's an example of fallen angel technology. And I'll let him kick it.
Well, this story definitely has some people thinking, what exactly did the Egyptians know? What kind of technology did they possess? And I think if you look at the record, it shows that they knew a whole lot. And of course, the Smithsonian and many other people, anyone that digs up any mummy, any artifact, they're going to wisp it away to where you're never going to see it again. And they're only going to tell you what they want you to hear. Now, right out the gate, they argued that the metal used for this blade could have very well been made of meteor.
It could have been.
Meteorite.
Could have been.
Iron that's mixed within it.
Could have been.
Now, of course, this did not go along with what the mainstream would want all the sheep to think out there.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't want them to know any of this stuff. Get the wheels turning too much.
So really, this is a mystery metal. They said it could have been made of meteorite, so they don't know if it was meteorite or not, which makes it a mystery metal, something foreign to the earth. This is fallen angel technology. This is a dagger made of some metal that they have no clue what it is. Do you understand? This is all the most purest gold, of course, right? Come on.
But what this does show is that they were very much aware that this meteorite had been hitting the earth and that they could use it. Now, back in this time frame, you were going to be hard-pressed to find many objects that were made out of these types of materials. They state that the Egyptians labeled them hard to work with and only used them in ceremonial tools or in a ceremony type.
Now, why, from whatever source he's getting this from, why would the Egyptians, you got to think about what he just said. Let's back it up a tad, and I want us to ponder this for a brief second in this classroom. And remember, this is our classroom, so protect the vibration, protect the frequency. You see some static in here, we're going to drop them off, man. We're working together, all right? Protect the frequency. It's a beautiful thing.
They state that the Egyptians labeled them hard to work with and only used them in ceremonial tools.
Okay. So why would the Egyptians label these tools hard to work with and only use them in ceremonial activities, rituals? Let's just think about that together. Ah, somebody got it. I just got a vibration. It's not that the Egyptians were labeling them hard to work with. It's the Cometians that are labeling these things hard to work with. You see the trickery? The Egyptians are the Atlanteans. The Atlanteans are not talking to these people, right? Did this dude have an interview with an Atlantean? A real one? A real fallen angel? Nephilim? Of Poseidon? Of Thoth? Of Tahuti? Jehuti? Huh? No. So whoever he's talking about, the Egyptian, he really means Cometians, the indigenous people that were jammed up by the fallen angel frequency and technology, learned to worship it the same way we worship the cross today. They got their own cross, but they call it the Ankh. And you can go back to that 6-part series, Sinking of Egypt. Go back to, I think it's part 3 or 4, where we're reading the Emerald Tablets, Tablet 8, where Tahuti himself says, with that cross, with the cross in the circle, you whisper whatever that magic word, whatever that vibration, and that will protect you from the hounds of the barrier that are chasing after you. If you get near the firmament, near the vibration, when you're going through your, outer body process, when you're going through your celestial walk, if you go anywhere near the firmament, and those hounds start doing that bell cry and coming after you, said they only come after you in angles. So they have to move in circles and circular patterns that, are unknown to man, that have no angles, or whatever he said, you know what I'm saying? But once they get back to their body, they need that they got to breathe through it or say some word through it to make sure those hounds don't follow them back to their body, because if they do, they would take their soul. Read the Emerald Tablets, chapter 8. Go back to that video. They would take their soul, man, until Judgment Day. No more spacewalks for you. Who's the hounds of the barrier? What are they protecting? These are the angels of the Most High, protecting anybody from coming near your house, your temple. But what do you do with your temple? I don't care about the Sabbath. I ain't no Israel. I'm just a Christian. I just believe in Christ. Christ is coming, not them. I mean, Christ said he coming though. I know the Old Testament say that you know what I'm saying, the Lord is coming, but over here that says Jesus is Lord. You see the hijack? You see where your energy went? Down the drain. Just like 440 hertz, just like these pyramids, just like this fallen angel technology of this mystery metal.
Or in a ceremony type of event. And they're saying that the one that you see here was by Tut's right leg. It had the golden sheath over top, but it is a mixture of the iron and meteorite. Now this has other people thinking, well, they must have known a lot more than what they're saying. Well, that's pretty obvious at this point to me.
Yeah.
But other people are going to say that they had a lot more technology and there was a lot more to this than just coming across a chunk of meteorite and then making one knife out of it. But regardless, it did come from space. And if you go back and you look at the terminology on this, the mineral is described as iron of the sky.
Any questions? Iron of the sky. So these meteorites, or that are falling, these metals are really chunks of the firmament falling down. Now, are they falling down just by accident? Have they been hurled down in certain areas? Because, somebody researched this, but I believe iron, I don't know if iron is even indigenous to the earth itself. I think iron is simply meteorite anyway. I think there's not that much iron around, and I mean, you know what I'm saying, from the iron deposits they have are just big chunks of the firmament or meteorite. So when you go back in the scriptures and it talks about how the angels taught weaponry, right? The fallen angels, taught the sword and all this kind of stuff. That's why all these, Gentile nations, were men of the sword, ruling by the sword. This iron, these certain irons, samurai swords and all this stuff like that. I mean, yeah, it's dope, and obviously, if somebody has one and you up against them, you better get you one. You better get you something. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Somebody else got a gun, now you need a gun. I get it. But where did this start? Remember, where did commerce start? Why do you need commerce? Because you got bills to pay, right? But what if you had no bills to pay? Would you still need it? What if nobody was charging you for anything? Would you still need money? No, because no one's charging those people for anything, and no one's charging anybody for anything, just like you would be in the wilderness right now. And if you had to barter, you barter with real things, not paper and plastic, right? We're in a man-made environment. So now we look back at this situation, and, it's right before our eyes. But these are tools of war, and what have they led to, right? More slaughter, slaughter, slaughter. What's our commandment? Don't kill. So do you rather want to be You choose. Choose your kingdom. You're in a kingdom now, right? I mean, forget the whole fact that this is a corporation. It's not an actual kingdom, and it's set up on the back of the people of the kingdom that was already here, which is you. And they're calling you Negroes and putting you in ghettos, and now we're afraid to walk out of the ghettos, just like there were slaves back then in Harriet Tubman's time, afraid to walk off those plantations. And what happened to them? Are some of you not alive today because of those slaves that said, man, I don't really know where I'm going, but I know I ain't staying here and dying like such and such? You don't have to like nobody. There's 6,000 acres in Zion National Park, man. Go your own way. Hunt your food. All you got to do is move your tent every 14 days legally. And then once you get to like 50 people and you're living off the land, they can't kick you off the land. Now you're eating. Those are your animals. You can prove it. That's why we're building, man. We're getting the research, the legal, the paperwork, everything, man, so that it is what it is. How can somebody tell you that you're not Aztec? Riddle me that. How can they tell you you're not? Since when do you got to prove to the second world anything? The land is for you. This time is yours. Or what's going to be the result of the next generation? What's going to be the result of your children? Your little brothers and sisters, your little homies. What's left for them? Donald Trump? Clinton? What's left for them? Come on. Viruses and disease, the same thing that you keep reading about happened to our indigenous people. Viruses, disease. Don't you see it's the same show? It's not by accident. And what started it all? What subjugated us first? What put their pyramids on our native, natural harmonics of the earth? Who said, oh, we need to raise the acoustics in this piece. We need to build another grid on top of the grid. They had their own fallen angel beefs and fallen angel gripes, and they was tearing their own dimensional realities up and doing their own thing. And those areas were sunk. The chaos was sunk. The order remained. The order always remains. The remnant always remains. And if you vibing, if you feeling like I'm feeling, if you're getting excited like I'm getting excited, it's because you belong to a remnant in the energy. I'm not over here doing any trickery here. I'm just breaking down, drop with you, asking questions, being scientific, using repeatable and observable science. Observe.
But that's where it sits. Wanted to update on that. They are coming out and saying that it is made of meteorite. So sit back and wait and see what else.
It is made of meteorite. Before he said it was possibly made of meteorite. Then he said it's baffling that it could be made of meteorite. And now it is made of meteorite. You see how that works?
Just discovered. But remember, this was found in 1925.
Whoa.
And it's taken them all this time to come out and put a confirmation stamp on it that this is what it is. So
wow.
Just imagine how many other things out there they're covering up, they're keeping us in the dark on until they feel the time is right. Regardless, pretty interesting story here. I'll leave a link with more details. Until next time, this has been Dabu 7.
Okay. So that was 1925 they found that day. And now you just now hearing, So you see the game, right? You waiting for this? These people? You need these people to approve of your status? Correct your status? Look, man. You didn't need permission to get your title taken. You didn't need permission to get your gold taken. You didn't need permission to witness your wife being raped, your children being torn apart, your family being thrown and just slaughtered with knives and swords, whatever. Burned, hands cut off, feet cut off. 90%. Did you need permission for that? Have we lost every backbone we got, man? Now we need permission to prove we're Judah, or to prove we're the 12 tribes. Well, who else is? I just want you to think. I know it's easy to, Who else could it be? Who doesn't know who they are? who's the number one people that have been separated from themselves? And what does it say in your prophecy? But does it also say rejoice? Alright? Does it also say vibrate when you see these things happening? Let them be in chaos. You choose order. You choose to vibrate. And when you see this queen I'm about to drop, I drop, I'm saying, the, homie Smiles, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a great sister, man. Great energy. I'll be honest. I'll be trill. Probably, like when Smiles does it, like I wish Smiles did a video every day. Because when she does drop, I'm like, cool. I got something to look forward to. I got something to vibrate to. She always got in that 432. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Hallway, man. CH, man. Love you guys, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, man. You know what I mean? Winifred Holcomb. Everybody is continuing to drop this drop, man. And just keeping it steady. Shout out to Let Us Find the Truth, man. You over here hitting me with major weight, man. You giving me homework after homework, man. I don't got that much time, man. I got my own links, man. No, man, but I appreciate it, man. I will dig in on it, and it is great work that you're doing. Keep building that platform, man, and you know what I'm saying? We're going to keep... It's such a great idea and understanding to have your own platform. I mean, even when they'll shut the whole thing down eventually, but it's better than Facebook and YouTube. Like I said, I got maybe a few more weeks in me, and then you can catch me at 432 The Drop. You know what I'm saying? I have a chat room set up just like Let Us Find the Truth, and that's how we can get down, man. We can support each other's platform. You know what I'm saying? We'll keep the radio thing going as long as we can. And eventually, man, it's just all, love and family and just walking towards the goal, man. I'm not living in ignorance. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, you know what I'm saying, how things start tying together right now, but you're ignorant if you think that this is just another time that we're just going to get through by doing nothing. I mean, at some point you got to connect to those that have come before you that are the only reason you're here, because they had the legs, the understanding, and they walked. They walked somewhere. They went from point A to point B, or B to C, or C to D, either for survival or for a homecoming. Like the Aztecs and the Mayan came home and said, these are our mountains, our valleys. They returned to the land of their ancestors, of order, of divine order. Just because it's dope and beautiful doesn't mean everybody can parlay here and then start making treaties and say it's mine. And this shield protects me. I say it's mine, and she got my back. These magistrates got my back in case anybody got a problem with that. It's not yours if you can't defend it. It's not yours if you can't protect it. It's not yours if you ain't growing on it. It's not yours if you ain't, able to, make money off of your land. I mean, if you got all this land, all these treaties and all this stuff, that your land should be flourishing, to build a community, to build more land for other people. Come back and get your people at some point. But these treaties have been signed since 1430, man. Look at our situation. Look at our hoods. Look at our neighborhoods. Look at our fight in the street. Now we got our Moorish brothers and our Israelite brothers and our Commission brothers and whoever else, whatever percenters arguing in the street. But these treaties were signed, right? What's the result? What's the result of all these treaties? But what would have been the result if we stuck together? What's the result of unity? What's the result of the separation? What happened when we separated and did individual treaties? And the families that did no treaties were slaughtered because their brothers and sisters were no longer available because they got a treaty. Do you know what would have happened if we were united? Can you really get behind a treaty today? Can you really get behind those actions today when you can honestly say, if we were united, if no one sold no one out, I'm not talking about just the Moorish stuff, I'm talking about all the so-called natives and all these other treaties that got know what I'm saying? You know, the Moors got kicked off of their land by so-called other natives. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everything happened to everybody, so I'm not just picking on that. I'm just using those because we were talking about that. That's just the context of the classroom right now. No stones, no slights, just truth, just honesty, just building, just frequency, vibration. So on that vibration, let's get the smiles, and we will make our dismount. Love to this sister. Please keep it. You know, I don't know how much time you got, but I want like at least one a day, man. Give me one a day, man. Just make it 2 minutes, man. Man. Love the smile. She's dope. Can't wait for the next beat. I think Smiles is going to be my DJ, you know what I mean? So, all right, Smiles, look, I'm coming out with an EP. You know, I'm just going to, you know, have a good time. So, I need some beats, man. Wherever you find it, let me know, man. I just need some instrumentals. Give me 10 of them. Shoot them to my Dropbox, let me know, and then I'm going to drop this EP, and I'm, you know, yeah, you're producing it. Let's go. Let's go. Smiles is my producer. Come on. All right, this is Smiles, Leaving the Belly of the Beast. The link will be on here. Everybody subscribe to this beautiful sister, this beautiful queen, man. True spirit, truly lovely, truly wonderful. Enjoy. Matter of fact, you can't enjoy it because I just finished enjoying it, so I need to back it up. That's proof that I just finished watching it for like the 7th time in a row. Smiling and crying like a grown ass. You know, softy. Don't make me a softy. This is dope. Check it out.
Hi, it's Madison, aka Smiles, and this video would just be me. I wrote something. I just call it my honest thoughts about leaving the belly of the beast, and you know, I kind of express myself and what I feel and things of that nature. And yeah, it's just I already pre-wrote it because I slip up on my words a lot when I do it naturally. So yeah, I just hope you can vibe with me and hear me out, and I hope you enjoy this video and the scenery and stuff. At around 4 a.m. in the morning, I once again found myself thinking about what it would be like to be out of the cities, to finally be gone and truly on my journey to righteousness with others. This step is really important to me. I had a rough beginning in my life. A lot of mistakes were made during childhood. I was troubled and angry as a child, and this was making myself and everyone around me miserable. As I come into truth, I think of how amazing it would be to spend the rest of my life making up for my mistakes by truly becoming righteous and living righteously for the rest of my life. I would love to do this. Matter of fact, I need to do this, and this is my goal. I was thinking about this video where a man named Rod explained a dream that he believed was given to him by the Creator, and it was on Judgment Day. I was so moved by his description of his dream, and I was so terrified that it made my eyes swell with tears. Rod seemed like a good guy, and I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but he really seemed overall decent. Yet he told us that the Most High had bad things to say, pointing out his wrongdoings and the things that he could have did better. Not to mention that prior to Rod's judgment, thousands upon thousands had been thrown into the scorching hot portal of hell. I repeat, thousands upon thousands, and a lot of them were sent for things that we may consider minimal. Like, there was a girl who was sent to hell because of a Facebook post that had led 300,000 people astray. I know today that I would be sent to hell for my actions in my youth. Rod thought that he too was surely going to go to hell, but by the Most High's grace, his tears were wiped away, and he was let into the portal of paradise. The only thing is that the Most High spoke these very words. You don't get a well done, you get a you barely made it. When I heard these words, my heart, it wavered, my nose burned. I wanted to cry. All I can say is that each day I am alive, I get a chance to not be sent to hell for my own actions. We cannot blame the Most High for our own actions, even if they are mistakes and are things we regret. As I come into the truth, I think that I don't want to get a you barely made it, but rather, though you have made your mistakes during your youth, I am pleased with the fact that you came to me and followed my laws and lived the remainder of your life in righteousness. You did all right. I would like the Most High to truly like me, to truly love me, and I would like to please Him. Leaving the belly of the beast is so crucial to me, because this will be the first step to me achieving my goal of righteousness and pleasing the Most High. But I know that everything won't be peaches and cream when we leave here. If you thought I've spoke a lot already, I have more to say on this. There are usually always a few bad and the good, whether it be seeds, fruits, or humans. Due to the fact that the Most High overall does think like us, since he made us in his image, we should be able to understand that just as we test if we can trust someone, trying them to see how they react, trying to see how strongly they care, how truthful they are, I believe the Most High would do the same to us once we leave the belly of the beast. It can happen immediately or gradually, but I feel it is inevitable, and this needs to happen to see who truly is here for the Most High, and in other words, who is truly about it. I was thinking of a scenario multiple times actually, in which we end up running out of food, and we eventually end up finding a cabin or some type of storage place only filled with cans of cat food. I was thinking that I personally say in my head that we don't need to settle for cat food, even though we have no food, because at the end of the day, the Most High will provide. However, as we get hungry, a lot of us begin to eat the food, seeing no other choice, while a few of us still hold fast to the fact that the Most High will provide adequate food. Days begin to go by, and as the few of us are starving, we are also being chastised by those who have eaten the cat food in multiple ways. We are called food fools for starving, but we hold fast because we know that we should not have to eat that food if we have faith in our Creator who provides. However, during this period of starving, our faith does waver here and there, because we have never experienced being on edge like this, waiting for something that has not yet come. Though we do begin to feel uneasy, we still do not eat, and before we can get too weak to return, those of us that did not eat are spared with adequate food, maybe manna, while those that ate the cat food, being more than half of the group, are impaired from it. I know the same exact scenario may not happen, but you get the message, right? That our faith was seriously tried just so the Most High can see who is strong enough. I don't blame him for purging us, because he has to know who is ready. We would do the same thing. We may also encounter arguments in the group of what to do and what not to do, as people try to lead and call the shots. Perhaps we will even split up. Some of us may see something, hear something, or feel something, which leads them to returning back to the cities. Even Israel wanted to return back to their land of bondage, which at the time was Egypt during their sojourn in the wilderness. These are all things that I think about, and that we should all keep in mind for when we leave the belly of the beast. Ultimately, this will not dare sway me away from leaving, because it is something that I personally must do. But as long as we prepare to be tried and understand that the real journey begins once we step out of the belly of the beast, we will be more aware and more prepared than ever. I hope that my words can penetrate your hearts, and I thank you for taking the time to listen. And I just want to, I want to thank everyone who's been tuning into my videos. I want to especially thank kingdrop, 432 drop, shout out. I'm so happy that you're moved by my videos and what I have to do. I want to be completely honest. I naturally enjoy editing videos. It's fun, but the fact that they're so powerful, to you and whoever else really likes it and stuff like that, and really receives benefit from it, it makes me really happy, because I'm really, when people find their passion, this feels like my passion, because I just love to edit videos. So thank you so much for tuning in, and yeah, I hope my words can also penetrate your heart and things of that nature. Thank you, God bless you everyone, and I appreciate your time. Shalom.
Love to you, sister. Enough said, man. Love to you. Love to your family. Love to everybody that's vibrating. No matter what time of day it is, or morning or night. We're only trying to, be free. No one's trying to hurt anybody. No one's trying to step on nobody. We're trying to be free, man. I can't think about raising 4 children, in a second world environment, if I have any say about it. I won't leave it up to them to climb, those mountains with their family, or do that, put this together, or shake the tree up, I'm going to do that. Or I'm a failure. Either I do it or I'm a failure. It doesn't matter what I've been through. Everything I've been through is for you. Everything I've been through is to connect to you, For some reason, You know, when I first started doing drops, I've always just connected to, you know, or in my mind, I just imagine that little young soldier man just sitting in the corner with his headphones on, you know what I mean? That don't normally listen to nothing, but maybe he'll listen to some of this drop. And then I realized I was the little dude, you know what I'm saying, with the headphones or the Walkman or whatever the case is, that was off to himself. Remember, I don't like people. I was always to myself, you know, doing my thing in my room, building something, you know. So now here we are, building together, you know what I'm saying, and we can all put all the BS aside for freedom, right? I mean, look, you could do anything, I can do anything we want to do. We all got these talents, you know. I could apply all this to just the industry, right? Just trying to get music to celebrities and 432, 432 radio. Or I can get your land back, get my land back. All my talent is going into getting our land back. If you do the same, we can do it. I love you. Stay up, suit up, choose up.